On this week's show, we'll be discussing Gamescom 2025 lands this week, Resident Evil Requiem looks amazing, and Bubsy is back. All that and much, much more on this week's GamerGuild Podcast. Good game, everyone, and welcome back to the GamerGuild Podcast, your weekly show where we round up all the week's video game stories and news for your listening or viewing pleasure right here on youtube.com/GamerGuildTV and up there in the digital clouds on your podcast preference of choice. Your podcast players for this week are none other than myself, Mr. Richie, and the Arcane Rogue, Mr. Chris. How are you doing?
Good morning, good evening, good night. I'm doing very well. I'm a little bit hot today. The sun is still ticking over, and of course, I'm allowed to complain because I'm British.
I'm a bit hot today. It's also very warm.
It is, yeah. I've been decorating all afternoon as well because I've started some time on annual leave. So it was like, right, get some jobs out the way nice and quick. Yeah. My daughter was being watched, so we'll get cracking. And then, you just like you've been active all day, so you just gradually build up that like layer of like sweat and stickiness, like doing the gardening, whatever you're doing. It all adds up, and it's just, And then I thought I'll sit down in a hot box of a room and record a podcast for our wonderful audience out there. So
I love my office.
I'm down for it.
There's no ventilation in this room. It's completely sealed in. All the heat just stays here. So it's a bit of a sweatbox here. But we do have a great show lined up for you all this week. But before we get into it, don't forget to like, subscribe, and ring that bell so you're kept in the loop of all of our amazing content here at GamerGuildTV. Such as... What have we got going on, Chris? You've just finished Uncharted.
Yeah, we put the full playthrough up this past week. Reasons being why the full playthrough went up is because sometimes people don't like watching things broken up into little tiny pieces. So we thought, well, I'll tell you what, we'll put the whole thing up in one go, and it just makes it better for everyone if they want to jump in and check that out. And again, Thursday was super, super warm, and it hits that time of night, especially my room. I know yours gets hot just gradually throughout the day. The sun sets looking into this room, so it gets warmer on an evening. So then just walking in this room around about like 5 o'clock in the afternoon thinking, do I need to come in here at 8 o'clock and do something live?
Yeah.
When the heat's at arguably its hottest and there's no wind coming through. This is just like a technical weather podcast.
Yeah.
There's always reasons. If I could sit down and play games in a super chill room, I'd love to do that, but sometimes there are outside factors that prevent us from doing some stuff live. Usually it's internet issues.
Yeah.
Usually there's no game releases, but yes.
Last week I think we're both very open with. I think you were away with work and it only kind of got back on, Wednesday, Thursday. Work's been absolutely mental. It's been incredibly busy for me since I got back from holiday. And to be honest, I got back in from work on Thursday and I was absolutely shattered. You know, when you just mentally I don't want to do anything. I just want to chill. And then it's very warm, and we will return to live streams. It's just maybe in winter.
We will. Yeah, maybe in winter. We'll come out of reverse hibernation for those folks out there. I was thinking today I'd love it to just like autumn weather where it's like warm but enough to like just put a jacket on to keep yourself a little bit warmer and then off.
I think I'm done with summer.
It's been a long one. It's been a great one.
It's been.
I can't deny it. It's been really good. I've got the best tan I've had in years, and I haven't been abroad. But
I was on holiday in May, and I was holiday in July. I think I've done enough summer stuff now.
Summer holidaying.
I want a bit cooler, maybe 17, 18 degrees, nice breeze. Not freezing cold. I don't want winter yet, but it's time to start cooling down a bit.
Yeah, let us know in the comments below if the heat is pissing you off, right?
How sweaty are you listening to this?
Yeah, it has in a gaming tangent. It has forced me to play more on the Portal because my PS5 sits next to me here, which I've already said is how hot this room gets. So I've left the PS5 cooking away in here and just went to another cool room and played on the Portal. So I've been playing a lot of Mafia this week via the PlayStation Portal. So, but we'll get into that.
We will indeed. In fact, let's get into it. What have you been playing, Chris?
It might be Mafia, as I alluded to. Yeah, Mafia the Old Country, still ticking through. I think I'm up to chapter 9, maybe halfway through that now. I think it's only got about 12 or so chapters, so I'm reaching, I guess, the thicker end of the story, and it's definitely not going to be a long game to complete, but I'm really enjoying it. I'm getting probably about an hour and a half, 2 hours in a night, I would suspect. Had a good solid 2.5 hour run last night. Did some of the racing in it, learned a little bit more about the characters in the world and the kind of Mafia's connections to the kind of the west coast of America at the time, and how the US was obviously, the Mafia kind of started popping up around LA area back then in the early 1900s. So just seeing it all play out, but I'm really enjoying it. I've said it on last week's episode when we went through first impressions and stuff, but it's a game that's not too demanding of my time. It visually looks great, the characters are fun, the world's really interesting, and I've seen a lot of back and forth conjecture online on the internet of people comparing it to Red Dead Redemption and such, because there's horses in it and it's got Western elements because the weapons.
Horses in it, it's Red Dead Redemption.
Yeah, I mean, realistically, there's not many games that focus on it, but I think because of the time period, it is very much turn of the century. You've got repeaters and pistols, and people are still using old vehicles, cars and stuff aren't that advanced. Smoking, drinking, whorehouses, that's very much just the world at the time. Loose, lots of criminals and stuff everywhere. And yeah, got a lot of unfair comparisons, which I think if you remember, Red Dead is 2 especially is, I guess it's an older game, it's on older tech, PS4 and such, but the money Rockstar have to put into those titles, it's like when GTA comes out. If you compare Grand Theft Auto 6 to any Ubisoft game that comes out next year, they're going to be night and day in terms of quality, because the rumour is GTA is going to be $2 billion worth of investment to make that game.
Yeah.
These other developers just don't have that money. Hangar 13 is not a massive studio. They don't have the resources or the pull or the budget. And you could see that by the game was priced at £40. And I didn't mind that, but people are comparing it to Red Dead, saying, how is a game that's X amount of years old this much better at this, and this? And they were comparing things like...
It's apples and oranges, the different styles of game.
Well, again, it's how the horse riding in Mafia isn't a major focal point. It's just one of the few things you can do. Whereas in Red Dead, you can imagine it's one of the main concepts of getting around.
Red Dead's a big open world, so your horse is your main method of transporting around the world. Yeah. So it's a big part of how you interact with that game. Mafia is a single-player linear experience. Yeah.
It's little daft things like when you shoot things and they maybe don't react the way you want them to. It's but that's when, as a studio, they've obviously thought, right, do we put research and development time into making this window shatter or this portrait fall off the wall if you shoot a picture frame? Whereas Rockstar do have the time and scale and budget to go well, actually, if you shoot anything in this bedroom, it should all fall apart and break. The Mafia team probably look at that and go, it's not really relevant to our story, so we can save money and time on not... So when people compare them, it's they're not apples to apples.
It's not a fair comparison. It's and as you said, Mafia goes for £40 now. If Red Dead 2 came out now, it'd be £80.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, if not more, because the rumoured GTA is going to be upwards of £99 to £100.
So I think sometimes comparison between games is useful, but you sometimes do have to look at a game in its own merit, and you have to be careful on what you use to compare. You can't just look at two games with similar settings and go, are these games comparable? It doesn't always work like that.
Yeah. And what's great is I've seen a lot of people come out and rightly so defend Mafia and talk about the scale of the previous... the Mafia trilogy games, they were never really AAA. They were always kind of sitting in that AA barrel. But I think they, at the time, because of the games that were out, they almost falsely come across as AAA. Whereas they were always a second-rate GTA clone almost, similar to Saints Row. And Saints Row was never really considered AAA, but remember when the Saints Row reboot came out, it kind of pushed itself because of marketing, and there hadn't been anything out like it for a while. You could argue, it almost got elevated falsely.
Yeah, and you could argue that was a mistake.
Rightly so,
Trying pushing yourself into that AAA barrier, suddenly getting compared to a Grand Theft Auto fairly and falling way short of it.
Yeah.
Where if you stay in the AA barrier, people are not going to go, yes, it's not as good as Grand Theft Auto, but it's not meant to be. Therefore, you start looking at its own merits.
Yeah. And then there was some comparisons to Expedition 33, saying the same thing, brand new developer, similar size studio, and that game looks visually different, but it's but then again, if you start comparing them, it's but they've got different artistic direction.
And completely different styles of gameplay.
The linearity of Expedition is very different to Mafia, because it is a bit more each section you when you leave to that open world map, you are essentially loading in a new area every time. So the the scope of details different for each loaded area, whereas Mafia, you are just in one big sandbox, and the missions take place in and around that sandbox. So Expedition is turn-based as well, and you have very little interaction with the world in the same way you would do with Mafia. No one said in that Expedition, like, if you use your gun and shoot the terrain, why isn't it a bullet hole? Yeah, it's so weird like, how the internet works.
It's just a weird...
What it gets hung up on and what it doesn't. But I, for one, am really enjoying Mafia. I'm going for the Platinum Trophy in it. I don't think it's going to take very long. It's been a nice surprise hit. And I think as long listeners of the show will be very glad to hear, I'm now an ardent Mafia defender of this one. And I think if I was to get more games of this scope and scale over the next 5 to 10 years, that is absolute fine pickings for me. I'm enjoying everything I've played. And I think, again, back to yourself, I'd recommend this to you and probably a lot of our audience, because I think we have very similar tastes collectively.
Yeah.
And I couldn't recommend it more, and it's £40, so come Black Friday it'd probably be 15. So
it might be one I pick up on a disc, on a PlayStation sale where it's it's £20, buy.
Yeah. I mean, it'll probably be in PlayStation Plus as well before long. What was the RoboCop one?
Yeah, exactly.
Just dropped. That came out last year, got really good praise, smaller team, smaller budget, and then it's rocking up on PlayStation Plus less than a year later, so I could see this doing the same. But definitely recommend it. How about yourself? What have you been up to?
Final Fantasy X still. Well, I say still. It's only been 2 weeks I've been playing it. I've actually caught up back to where I left off my 2017 save.
Okay.
Literally about an hour ago before we recorded, I got to that point. So for anyone who knows Final Fantasy X, I've just unlocked the Fahrenheit. So now basically it's not the
Celsius.
No, not the Celsius, unfortunately. The Fahrenheit. So the Fahrenheit's your airship. So now I can pretty much freely go back to any areas I've been to before. Where Final Fantasy X is actually it's a very linear game. You go from one area to the next, to the next, to the next as the story goes, till you get to the point I'm at, and then you can go back and re-explore areas and unlock more stuff.
Sounds good. Sounds good.
Well,
cool name for a ship, that, actually.
Yeah. I'm right near the end of the story, but the post-game is absolutely massive.
Right.
It's more. I'd say it's more than clean up. I think that there's more in kind of the post game than the actual game.
Okay.
So I could pretty much go to the last area and go on to fight the final bosses now, or I could probably spend a good 60 hours, 70 hours or something doing other stuff. So I doubt I'm going to get the platinum because you have to max level every character, and I've barely made a dent. I looked at it earlier, the sphere grid, which is basically your level up system, and I've barely made a dent in it at this point in the game. Is that feels like a lot of grinding.
Yeah.
So maybe one day, but I don't know if I've got that sort of grind in me right now.
And there's a lot of things coming out in the next couple of weeks as well. So I was going to ask, is that you kind of leaning towards wanting to jump over to something else next in the coming days and weeks? Then
I bought Metal Gear Solid Delta during the last episode of this show.
What's that? 10 days? Is it 26? I think.
Yeah,
give or take. I think that one out.
So
and then you've got Gears Reloaded as well.
I'm not that interested in Gears Reloaded, to be honest.
Purely because just for the uniqueness of getting a platinum trophy in it.
See, for me, I just don't really have the time to play everything I'd like to play, and I've already played Gears 1 recently.
Yeah, true.
So it's not like anything taken away from the game. It's just I've already played it recently on Xbox with the original version, actually the first remastered version. So maybe one day I'll get to it. It's just
time and money.
Yeah, it's just not a priority for me right now. But Metal Gear Solid Delta, technically my girlfriend bought it because I accidentally bought it on her card. But oops.
Did that get resolved? Or was it just
Yeah, I'm just going to...
You can have it for your birthday.
Because it's a pre-order that the bill hasn't come through, so I told her once Amazon gives you the bill, just tell me and I'll pay you.
Okay, fair enough. And hope she forgets. Shh.
Nah, that's fine, I'll pay her.
Hope she forgets.
Yeah, hope she forgets. But you know what we won't forget, Chris? You introducing us to the...
So apparently we're a big enough show for sponsorship now, guys, so check out this ad.
If you like video games, then you can't miss Call Me By Your Game. It's a podcast hosted by me, Sweetie Pie Connor McCabe, where I invite a guest to share about a special video game from a memorable moment in their life. That's right, it's baked in nostalgia. Was Persona 5 a warm blanket during the pandemic? Did Mario Kart 64 feel like a vacation? Or does Spyro remind you of that winter break with Dad? These are the types of stories told on the podcast. So call me Tetris, Half-Life, or StarCraft 2, it's up to you. Find the show wherever you get your podcasts, and get ready to call me by your game.
The graciously gathered GamerGuild again. The news.
And as always, the news is brought to you by our Guild Heroes, which you can join for as little as 99p over on the YouTube channel. Thank you very much for your support. It really does help us a lot.
It helps pay for air conditioning at some point, hopefully.
We need more members to pay for air conditioning.
I said eventually. Eventually. When the ice caps have melted.
Yeah.
Maybe by then.
We needed quite a lot of supporters at 99p to pay for 2 air conditioning units and to offset the electric bills.
Yeah. When the ice caps melt and the dinosaurs return, we'll be okay.
Talking about dinosaurs returning, Jurassic Park Survival is actually confirmed, Chris, to be a direct sequel to Jurassic Park. I know that sounds just like of course it is, but it is one of them. It's like, well, there's a lot of Jurassic Park and Jurassic World films out now. It's like, where is it set? Is it canon? Is it just a complete side thing?
Yeah. Well, it did confuse me if anyone's seen Jurassic World Rebirth, which I went to see 2 weeks ago now.
I
really enjoyed
haven't. I'm halfway through watching Dominion.
Oh, okay. Had you seen Dominion before?
No.
No. Okay, yeah. I enjoyed Dominion as well for its merits. It's a bit okay. Well, I guess we're doing this, especially with not cicadas, what are they? The crop munching things.
The locusts.
Locusts, yeah. But in terms of Jurassic World Rebirth, I enjoyed it for what it was. It was an action dinosaur movie. I wasn't expecting much. I don't think they're ever going to capture the horror and suspense of the original.
They haven't even really tried. It's very action.
It's its own thing now. It's closer to Fast and the Furious than the original Jurassic Park. But I enjoyed it. And we've got Jurassic World Evolution 3 coming out at some point soon as well. So that's like your park builder game, which I absolutely adore. Operation Genesis back on the PC, circa 2003 or something, was phenomenal. And we've had like a slew of Jurassic Park games over the years. The Sega Mega Drive one, Rampage Edition was the version I had. That was really good. Lost World for PlayStation 1 in particular was fantastic. I played as a Velociraptor and a T-Rex and Mercenary at the time. So many good games. But yeah, Jurassic Park Survival is seems to be heating up to be something really, really special. I saw the behind-the-scenes footage that came out probably Tuesday or Wednesday this week while I was travelling down to London. It was like a little featurette they put out. And in a world where I'm starting to get excited for the next Resident Evil game, it does make you wonder, if Resident Evil just put dinosaurs in it, you would get, what's it called, Capcom? Oh yeah, Dino Crisis. Yeah. Oh yeah, Capcom, you're still sitting on that one. But in the meantime, you know what? If you're going to pair that type of survival with dinosaurs and an IP that I absolutely adore and always have done, Jurassic Park, this seems fantastic. And the behind-the-scenes look made it look so authentic to the film, the locations, and just the overall vibe of it feels like the developers... You know when you get developers who, when they talk about it, you can just tell they get it?
Yeah.
I hope this is a hit. I hope... There is nothing to say you can't take the gameplay, the suspense, the horror of a Resident Evil game that we've seen now, 10 plus times over the last 20 years with different iterations, pair it with the reality that these monsters used to walk our Earth. They're not fictional, they are real things. Unlike zombies and infected and all that kind of crazy shit, these genuinely lived on our planet. Pair them together to make a survival, single-player narrative game in a world that I already know and love, similar to how we really vibe with Hogwarts Legacy. This could be perfect. Like, let me find those little Easter eggs. Let me walk around the visitor centre on Isla Nublar. And yeah, this is
get stalked by
shaping
raptors,
up for me.
Or having things like the raptors can open doors. So if you go through the next door, you're not just immediately safe.
Mm-hmm.
Like big
you hear them at the handle, maybe behind you're trying to find a hiding place. You can hear them at the handle. You get that. You know when they go against the glass in the first movie, go like, and you get the big condensation, bricking it. You're out in the forest running around and you get the Dilophosaurus. Wait for it, Richie. And then like, what's just going on? You get them. That's for audio listeners out. That's my impression of a Dilophosaurus. I won't do the big bit. But I can, but I won't do it. I only do it for my daughter.
Yeah.
And maybe Richie if I had a few drinks. But yeah, what are your thoughts? Jurassic Park Survival?
I think it looks amazing. Because it being a single player, is it first person or third person?
First person.
First person.
So far. They do have the main protagonist is Dr. Maya Yoshi, or Joshi. Yoshi might be. Wah, 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 wah. That's the dinosaur. Yeah, it's single. It's first person, but similar to the recent Resident Evil stuff, a lot of the cutscenes are going to show her, so they've got a proper mocap actor.
Yeah.
So it looks like it's going to utilize like cutscenes, very interesting to kind of pull you in. But ultimately, the horror works best in first person. I think we found from Resident Evil, it adds that extra layer of suspense where you can't see your peripheral. So I think sound and 3D audio design works on absolute levels for this type of thing.
Yeah, but what I like though is it is pretty much set immediately after the events of the first movie. Mm-hmm. So the character you play, I think, is seemingly a character who's probably been left behind when everyone else has escaped the island. So like it's going to be basically the story of her surviving, probably getting off the island.
Isolation.
Yeah,
which we have seen before in the Jurassic Park Telltale game, which was one of their first ones, which never really got the plaudits it probably deserved. You are sent in, the little canister of shaving cream that Nedry drops?
Yeah.
You're sent to the island after the fact as like a backup for that agency where they don't trust Nedry, they don't know if he'll definitely make it out, so they send another person after him. So you start at the docks where he's meant to be picked up in the movie, and you go in and you find the canister buried in the mud because it's got a tracker in it. So they give it to Nedry, but they actually track him as well. And they kind of wiggle their way through, and you obviously come across the downsides, but it's very Telltale where it's a lot of you're in a still frame, you're walking around, investigate, scene triggers, quick time event happens, then the story moves along. So it wasn't that immersive. It was for the time, and it was great to see a Jurassic Park World /World game come to life. But I think this is kind of doing that, but really elevating it, using like Unreal quality visuals, sound, and like I said, if you were to hold me at gunpoint and say, would you rather play this or Resident Evil, I'd probably lean towards this at this moment in time.
I think I would lean towards this. I feel like it's just slightly more up my alley with the dinosaur stuff rather than the zombie stuff.
Yeah,
but it's like they're reported to have meticulously recreated like most of like the key scenes from not the scenes, the locations from the first film. So like imagine like that experience of sneaking through the visitor centre, probably raptors stalking her at that point, and the T-Rex outside.
Yeah, they showed in the behind the scenes clip they got to go to Universal set I guess backlot or wherever they keep all their props, and they got to 3D scan some of the original things from the movie. So like it's literally 1-for-1 in the game because it was the genuine prop that was scanned. Yeah, which is like that's attention to detail. That's going above and beyond when they could have easily just replicated it from a photo or the movie itself. But it's a shame we don't have a date on it. I think the reason this news is coming up is because it's not going to be at Gamescom. Yeah, so they wanted to get ahead of the curve with that one,
which I think is a smart move. Going, look, here's a bit of a behind the scenes thing. We're not going to be at Gamescom now. You don't need to everyone I don't know, guess how you're going to be at Gamescom. Speculate. We're not going to be there. Here you go, guys. We're working on it. Don't worry.
Absolutely.
I'm moving towards this is probably a 2027 game. What are you thinking?
No, I think 26. I think we'll probably see it. It's an interesting one. You would have thought. I think initially they probably wanted to get it out quite close to the movie releasing, and then obviously game development. It's kind of probably knocked back a peg or two. But it seems like the way they're doing behind the scenes stuff, it seemingly is further along than we would have imagined. If you think about Saber Interactive themselves, they're now who are the developers, they're kind of spread out all over the place with recent games. But I feel like Saber haven't had many misses in the last couple of years. They've been kind of ticking over really nicely.
Yeah, they're doing all right.
I mean, the last one with... remember the last one they did was Space Marine 2, and that looked absolutely gorgeous.
It did.
World War Z. And then they did the Ghostbusters game. Or the remaster, I should say.
I very much do like how they are. It seems a game that's very focused. It knows what the game is, and it's just going to deliver that. It's not going to be everything for all players. Like if you want to go in guns blazing, it's not for you, probably. I think this is going to be a game that is like true to survival horror roots, where resources are probably going to be scarce. You will get flares and stuff like that. There's pre-rendered footage showing Dr. Mayayoshi holding a flare.
Yeah.
But I reckon there'll be few and far between, and that's what you'll probably have to use to get away from the T-Rex. I don't think I doubt you'll at any point in this game you'll have the capability of actually taking down the T-Rex.
Oh no, it's always T-Rex is going to be like the Mr. X of the game, where he's going to stalk you and hunt you, and you can only get away from him by going maybe into the little concrete bunkers that are in the movie, and they're going to be scattered around the island. So whenever you make enough noise or enough just ruckus, or you maybe interact with other animals, there's like a T-Rex bar that loads up, and at some point he'll locate you and hunt you, and you have to stay low. If this ends up being the Alien Isolation of the Jurassic Park franchise, that's all I need to know.
That's probably a good comparison, actually. So you're a different location to have either things like raptors or the T-Rex probably chasing you down. I wonder how open it's going to be.
Yeah. I mean, it is a park, so it has its structured
paddocks,
linearity. Yeah.
So
if they trigger the Resident Evil style, if they trigger the fence electrics, so that you need to unlock it in stages almost. You need to find a new fuse, like at the start of Dino Crisis, ironically. Find a particular fuse to restart the power in a block of the park. And that's how the story progresses through locked areas, and that unlocks new cutscenes with new dinosaurs, and the fear factor gets ramped up. Interactions with the T-Rex might be limited, but there's always that threat, like a Mr. X can always kick down the door at any time and scare the shit out of you.
I can see how there'll be some relaxing moments, because survival horror games do need them kind of relaxing moments before you get back into just, especially if you go through a massive T-Rex chase and you're getting stalked by raptors. You need to come out and have this relaxing moment. I can see you coming out and going, oh, there's the Dilophosaurus. There's a brachiosaurus. I meant there's a brachiosaurus up there. Oh, imagine the compies. They're going to be a pain in the ass.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. They could just be the little irritants that are always on your tail.
Yeah.
It's you just can't get rid of them because there's so many of them.
You have to shake them off.
Like in Alien, you get the little spider crawly things that are everywhere. Yeah, it could be great. Nice little aside as well. Saber Interactive, they're also working on Turok Origins at the same time. So I'd be very intrigued to see behind the scenes how they share their dinosaur framework.
They need to open a dev studio that focuses just on dinosaur games.
Just dinosaurs. What was the one we played on the channel? About a year plus ago now. It was the 3-person team, not extraction one, but you had to work as a team to push through, and you could summon big... You fought raptors and stuff, and you summoned mechs and blocks to climb up onto to get through areas. And you got a score at the end. I want to say Primeval something, but it's not Primeval. It's like a play on the word Primeval. Was it Prime? I feel like it was from Square Enix. Prime. Yeah. Amazon Prime. Yeah, we did that as a live stream. It was one of them where it came out and it was fun and enjoyable, but when you think, I'm never really going to go back to this again.
Well, I completely forgot about that game. I know exactly what game you're talking about, but I had completely forgotten about it.
I'll be able to find it at some point. Yeah. I don't think it was that much over a year ago, but it'll be in our doc.
I do think it was a while ago,
Before it probably was, actually. I say not too long ago, but the summer is nearly gone already. Exoprimal. Exoprimal, first look.
When did we play that?
We played that back in... Can't find it because YouTube's terrible at telling you dates. And let's refresh the page. Exoprimal
streamed 2 years ago.
July 2023, yeah. Shit, yeah, so it was 2 years. As if that was 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Well, go check out Exoprimal if you want to first look at a new one. The actual video does say the year is 2040. Sudden dinosaur outbreaks have engulfed the globe, and a crisis that threatens humanity's very existence. Hope is not lost. The corporation Abius has developed a hyper-advanced AI called Leviathan that can predict the location of future outbreaks. This technology, along with Abius revolutionary power suits or exosuits, give humanity a fighting chance to stem the tide of the saurian swarms. Yeah, because you did have powers, didn't you? Like you had like a class that you fitted into. Again, it was fun, but it's just one of them games where if I was a child, I would have lapped that up in a Jurassic World-less game.
It's as we always say when it comes to multiplayer games. We actually do enjoy them, but we never have the time commitment for them. There's other stuff we'd rather be playing.
It's like FBC. There's a story in the news that we'll get to later on about FBC, and it's like we both had a fun time playing that. But I've got zero interest in going back to it.
FBC, not an amazing game, but it's fun.
Yeah,
but we'll get into that in a bit. Chris, but Resident Evil Requiem is confirmed to be at Gamescom, and we'll have a 90-minute presentation.
It's a Capcom panel.
Yeah,
it's a Capcom
panel.
I
said
like
presentation. Like, no, that's not right.
This is it is going to be at Opening Night Live, but then the Comic Con's later on in the year. So there's a 90-minute presentation coming later on in the year.
Right, yeah, I'm sorry. That was me getting my wires crossed there. So it will be at
2 events.
Yeah, it'll be at 2 events. So starting that, Jeff Keighley on X announced that the nightmare isn't over. Witness an exclusive new look at Resident Evil Requiem, only June Gamescom Opening Night Live, and probably immediately available absolutely everywhere else, probably the following day, as these things tend to go. But then in New York Comic Con on the 10th of October, there will be a panel.
Yeah. Are you thinking a demo stealth drop then? Because Resident Evil notoriously has always put out demos we got a demo for Village and we got a demo for 7.
It could be. I think what they're quite fun with the demos, actually, because I remember 7's demo actually being quite different. Well, it was set in the house in the real game, but they did change things a lot, because you had that mannequin room, didn't you? When you went upstairs, which isn't there in the actual full game.
Yeah, it's the ordering of it all. Because I guess the house in Bio has like the little trailer house thing. It plays its purpose in the story, and you do go back to it a few times, but I think that was like a great starting point just to introduce it to that world. And Village gave you like the little open area bit, didn't it, with a couple of werewolves, if I recall. So it'll be interesting to see what Requiem is. But we're going back to third person, remember, so it'll be a different kind of demo altogether.
But interestingly, actually, I'm reading from Push Square at the moment, and they go towards the end of their article. So far, Capcom has only shown its debut trailer and glimpses of gameplay publicly, but a playable demo was presented to press at Summer Games Fest earlier this year. I think that demo might be the same demo, probably or maybe slightly tweaked and stuff, updated a bit. Could be at Gamescom. And probably
I think
a Comic-Con
this time next week when we sit down and record, one of us will be talking about we've played the demo for Requiem. I think that's going to be one of my predictions for tomorrow. We should probably point out, actually, Gamescom Opening Night Live is Tuesday. I'm away with my family on a holiday, so we won't be covering it unless you want to do something yourself, Richie. But in terms of the news, I don't think Jeff's got much lined up, because he made an announcement this week saying there's like 7 games are going to be there in and amongst like indie stuff. And I think we found in the past the Opening Night Live's it's like a 2-hour event, but I think we always have ranked it's below Summer Game Fest, it's below Game Awards. So I think I'm not expecting great things. I think a couple of updates, a nice couple of indie reveals maybe. It's
in an awkward point in the year, because Summer Games Fest and all the major publishers are doing something that maybe not related to Summer Games Fest tend to be all around that, June, July area. And then in August, you got Gamescom. So it feels a bit too close to Summer Games Fest in some ways, so a lot of the big reveals have already happened. So there might be some biggies, actually, because sometimes they might go, because Resident Evil Requiem was at Summer Games Fest, and now they're going, okay, we're going to double dip.
Yeah. There's a few announcements that we know, I think that Jeff's kind of alluded to, that I guess we can pick and choose where we want to. Little Nightmares 3 is going to be there. We've had that confirmed. Call of Duty is going to be there, which no surprise, because that's going to be probably out in 2 months, 3 months tops. October, November. We're at the point of the year where you're right, where Christmas is literally like the golden quarter, where the majority of big titles drop, are pretty much on the way. Borderlands 4 is imminent. That launch date. I've started seeing marketing for Borderlands 4 in my algorithm. Like pre-order now, get on board with Borderlands. Silk Song, we've mentioned Requiem. World of Warcraft Midnight. Does that do anything for you, World of Warcraft Midnight? I don't even know what that is. It sounds like an expansion, but
I think it's the next World of Warcraft expansion.
Alright, so it's still ticking over. Silent Hill F, we want to see more of that as well.
Onimusha,
you mentioned Onimusha.
Yeah.
Outer Worlds 2, because that comes out in October. And then, so I think we've got some things coming out. I do think there'll be one or two surprises, because Jeff knows he needs to bring something. Ghosts of Yotei is going to be there as well, but again, I'm kind of like, I'd rather put the blinkers on for that now.
I'm kind of
I'll play it when it comes out.
Because it's when you get a game with that you 100% buying day one, you're already convinced to buy it. I don't really want to say anymore. Yeah.
And I get that. Like, I know why they need to do trailers, because they want to stoke the fire a little bit and the interest, if maybe get people who hadn't been in before, but it's such a story game. But any crazy predictions for Gamescom, Richie?
I don't really have anything major, really. We know Crimson Desert will be there. There's
albeit delayed.
Yeah, there's new news on that being delayed into 2026. Metal Gear Solid could be there.
I'd imagine that'll have like one last trailer before launch of like, look, it comes out in a week. He's one last roll of the dice to just hype up some interest in it.
Pokemon could be a wild card being there. It doesn't
Nintendo
feel
really been
like,
at any of these.
No, that's why I say it's a bit of a wild card. But the timeline wise, not a terrible idea, because there's news that's come out of the 2025 Pokemon World Championships about it.
What about Ubisoft? Because they haven't had their own event, they kind of stalled on that. And what have actually they got in the pipeline that we know about? Now Outlaws is out.
Assassin's Creed Shadows DLC. I think there's
we even know about that though. So it's like, I'm just thinking in terms of games. Remember, Ubisoft have like 10 studios kicking around doing nothing. Are we ready for whatever, like they do a Far Cry iteration?
Maybe Far Cry.
Well, we had the Crew Motorfest, was it? Not Motorfest. The Crew something Fest.
Yeah, it was Motorfest.
Was it Motorfest? Was it? So that was like got to be like continually serviced anyway. I'm trying to think just their IP. Like, I feel like we'd do another Far Cry. Like they do like the little mid game in between that uses the same map from 6, 7, 6, 7, 7, 7. And we get like that like new skin on it, and it comes out as like a mini game. Splinter Cell, I don't think we'll hear anything of yet. Division, it's been quiet for a while on the Division front. Outlaws has been and gone now.
Wildlands got shut down though, didn't it?
Yeah, but we did report a couple of weeks ago that there's a new Ghost Recon in the works. I feel like Ubisoft
Heartlands got shut down as well.
Heartlands did. Yeah, I'm just thinking Ubisoft is such a big company and they've got nothing on their slate now. Assassin's Creed's out. Outlaws is done.
Yeah, Outlaws is done. Assassin's Creed.
You know what
Hex.
I mean? I feel like they should have something.
Prince of Persia.
That's too close to start talking about. Maybe this is why Ubisoft are in a bit of trouble, aren't they? Because they.
Yeah, I think Hex is probably too close to Shadows, but Hex could be a smaller title for all we know. Beyond Good and Evil 2 still in development for some reason.
It just makes you wonder that a studio, like when you look at EA, another massive third-party studio, I feel like they've got so much going on, and then you look at Ubisoft and go like, do something. Like, there's a presentation here. You haven't done anything this year yourself. You cancelled your Ubisoft forwards. Show something off.
I don't think we'll see Ubisoft there. I don't think
Which is mad to say, right? That they're going to go all of 2025 with nothing other than Assassin's Creed launch.
Yeah, gone from what we've covered. I mean, they've got I know 117 Pax Romana coming out, so maybe something like that could be there. Just Dance 2026 comes out on October the 15th. So there's got a few stuff to come out. Assassin's Creed Jade. It's an Android iOS
just a mobile game.
Yeah, but so maybe this is a place to put them, like, because you need to market them a little bit, but if you don't want to overdo it. And you don't have anything big to go alongside it. Prince of Persia: Sands of Time is apparently due 2026 at the moment.
Yeah, it's been moved around so much. I'm not too sure of it, but it's just my wild thing how like the terrain's changed to a point where Ubisoft have nothing, and yet Capcom are rocking up with like the biggest monster off the back of the biggest Monster Hunter launch earlier this year, going into getting another Resident Evil game off the massive success of Village, and then the remasters. And it's like, oh, they've like just swapped places. Like Capcom's fully back, and Ubisoft's now in the doldrums. I think Resident Evil Requiem's had like 1 million wishlist pre-orders, so like the demand is huge
because the quality is there.
Yeah,
outside Assassin's Creed, I think Ubisoft doesn't really sell that well at the moment.
Yeah, but you know what, I'm sure we'll have one or two surprises. I know there's lots of people putting stock in Hollow Knight Silk Song because it's supposed to be coming out, and then remember there was that
I feel
when they announced the
Rogue
Ally.
I worry about it.
I do as well. I think it's like Team Cherry, the developers, like Hollow Knight was, for all intents in 2018, the best indie game of that year, but people acting like it's going to be an absolute showcase breaker and stuff. It's like, it's just a little indie Castlevania style game. Like,
yeah, it's much
I don't
beloved
get it,
and seemingly for good reasons, but you're putting it on a pedestal a bit too much there, and maybe chill out on it. Like,
yeah,
I feel like one of them things where because you're overhyping it, it's almost certainly going to be slightly disappointing.
Yeah, but there was when they announced the ROG Xbox Ally, they said it will be playable at launch of the ROG Ally. If you remember, we reported last week. I think it's due out. The leaks have suggested it's going to come out 16th of October. So I think we might get a reveal of hardware.
Yeah, I was going to say that's a good focus. We haven't had a public, proper in-depth kind of overview of the ROG Allies from Xbox.
And Xbox are clearly here quite heavily because of Warcraft and Call of Duty and Outer Worlds. So Xbox are definitely present at this event.
Yeah. And that would be a good. This could be a good event. So here's the Xbox ROG Ally. It's coming out with Silksong. It's going to be playable. Silksong is going to be playable on the show floor on the ROG Ally.
Yeah.
There you go. That could be something great. What other publishers do you think could be here? Square. Did we get?
I mean, I'd like to see something.
Did we get all the Final Fantasy 16 DLC? That's all out is now, isn't it?
Yeah, it's done. Yeah, you might get the Xbox port date.
Maybe. Too early for 17, I reckon.
Yeah.
Maybe reconfirmation that 7's coming to Switch and Xbox.
I think Embracer, it'd be nice to see what the studios they acquire from Square Enix are up to. Like, what are the Tomb Raider team up to? It's been a while.
Hopefully Tomb Raider.
I mean, just like show me something, even if it's a tease. Like, even if it's this entire showcase, if we got like, I don't know, 45 seconds worth of like just a flame in a cave or something, and then
ends with
you pan around and then you see the light flicker over a young female's face, and then it just like goes to black and you just get Tomb Raider, the new legend or something, like whatever it is. It's like just to make it go, oh shit, yeah, let's get Tomb Raider back in the public eye.
I was still thinking that it's probably whatever they're currently working on is going to, whether it's one game or a series of games, is going to bridge the Square Enix games to the originals.
I'd be quite happy for them to just do a fourth entry in the current iteration. Like, I think you'd be fine with that as well, because all three games are great.
Yeah.
And it's been so long. It's been absolute years.
I feel like I've always felt it's a bit of an awkward fit when they were talking about bridging the narrative between where we ended up with Shadow of the Tomb Raider and Tomb Raider 1. It's kind of a weird thing, because the first few Tomb Raider games are kind of light on story. They are kind of just action games, because that era of games didn't have a huge amount of plot. So it's like, and it feels like a very different Lara. So I almost feel like you should just call it multiverse shit. That's happening in one universe. We're going to go from this. Now we're going into our own Tomb Raider 4. You can take things from them. I actually wouldn't be against if you're going to want to bridge the gap, instead of trying to bridge the gap between Shadow and 1, do a full remake of 1, but under the lens that it's set following the events of Shadow. Yeah.
I mean, it worked. Like, Tomb Raider reboot was 12 years ago now.
Yeah.
Rise was 2015, and Shadow, the last of that trilogy, was 2018. It's been 7 years since the last, and obviously they've done all the 1 to 3 remaster and the Lara Croft.
And there was a lot of buying and selling the studio as well, which that's got to have had an effect.
Yeah, and we know the developers like Crystal Dynamics and stuff. They've since been moved around. Adios Montreal helped out with one of them, the middle one, the Rise game. But other than doing Avengers and then we know they were helping with Perfect Dark. And now they're not, because that's gone.
Yeah.
So, you'd imagine the studio's fully focused on what, but they are under that Embracer umbrella, and you'd like to think, when Embracer acquired them, we said immediately, it's this should be the crown jewel in Embracer's catalogue. This is by far your most storage studio you own. It's your most AAA studio you own. They've got the heritage and the history of putting out absolute critically hit games. Don't ruin it. Don't take the soul from this team and this franchise and IP and ruin it, because I think that's our worry that they own Lord of the Rings as well now, right? That they're just going to shit all over it and we just get SpongeBob games for the next 10 years.
Yeah, I'm actually looking through the partners from Gamescom on the website. So they've got 2K, Hoyoverse, HDI, Indie Arena Booth, Grinding Gear Games, Pearl Abyss, Team 17, Level Infinite, Lego, which actually in the show this week, Asus, Star Oasis, Shark Mob, Krafton, Samsung, Xbox, Ubisoft, Capcom, Tencent, Bandai Namco, Bethesda, Nintendo, Netflix, Sega, and Astragon.
There's not many there, is there really? A lot of the ones you've listed, I can picture the games that we've already spoke about that are there. Bethesda's obviously just going to be under the Outer Worlds banner.
Yeah.
So
Crafton
is, I guess Capcom. You might.
Yeah, Ubisoft. So
that'd be Just Dance, probably.
Not confirmed to be there, but confirmed to be at least a partner.
Partners, yeah. We'll see, but we've only got to wait till tomorrow. I mean, Crafton, we're not getting any more Callisto Protocol.
PUBG?
There's nothing. Yeah, possibly, or maybe something new. Obviously, they acquired the studio that did what's the music one? Why am I blanking on it? The Xbox One got shut down, got bought.
Actually, I think I can tell you what's going to be there, because I've just clicked on the Crafton link, and there's PUBG Battlegrounds going to be there, PUBG Blind Spot, and Inzoi, which looks like a cute cat game.
Why can't I remember that game?
Inzoi is a life simulation game where players step into the role of creators shaping the world as they envision and witnessing the various stories that unfold. Through this immersive experience, we aim to inspire players to appreciate life as the profound gift it is. I'm not going to read the whole description because it's quite long, but
it was Hi-Fi Rush.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
In my head, I kept going high on life, and I couldn't get that out of my head, but it was it's Hi-Fi Rush, because Crafton own them now.
Yeah, I'm just flicking through some of the publishers, see if anything interesting jumps out, and so far, not really. So,
I think it's going to be quite a mild Gamescom.
Yeah. Dune Awakening, Dying Like the Beast.
That's just been delayed, but yeah, I guess
it's on Gamescom's website, so it's not outlandish. Anyway, Crimson Desert, Chris.
Crimson Desert.
Yes.
I'll have that after my Crimson Mane, shall I?
Fair. Yeah, it's confirmed to be at Gamescom, as we've already mentioned.
Yeah.
And it's been described by Push Square's outstandingly ambitious PS5 RPG game. Looks like it'll ease the wait for Witcher 4, because there's 13 minutes of gameplay coming out.
It's out now.
Yeah, I haven't watched it. Have you?
I've skimmed through it. It's one of them where the gameplay doesn't really show me anything I feel like I didn't already know.
Yeah.
It's basically, it's Witcher-esque. It looks beautiful. The world looks fun, and again, you can tend to some kind of cloud of hawk monsters, which I can see why it's getting comparisons. I think they've just announced it's been delayed till 2026. They probably are safe in the knowledge that The Witcher 4 isn't coming out anytime soon, so they're not going to accidentally fall foul of the the Master returns just as they're imminently due out.
I think it looks strong enough as well to stand alongside The Witcher. Like, they are going to eat each other's lunch a bit, and I think Witcher would come out on top, but I don't think its sales would ultimately completely collapse by any proximity to Witcher. But I think it's a bold move to actually go, you know what? We are going to announce a delay, but to ease things over, to ease any worries, he's 13 minutes of gameplay footage.
Yeah, we often hear about delays, and you hear all the behind the scenes of like stuff's not going right, but then when you haven't seen much of the game, you start to question like how far along is it? Is this delay? Like we saw it with Wonder Woman, right?
Yeah.
They put out that little CGI trailer, and we heard nothing for ages, and then it turns out that trailer was just pulled together. And that was just to get people in the door recruitment-wise and to build hype for the game and to show that WB had something in the pipeline. And then actually seeing this is, like you said, it could easily be delayed 2026 and the narrative would go down the route of, smaller studio, don't really know what they're doing, they should just stick to the Black Desert MMO that they do. But actually putting out 30 minutes of gameplay that shows so much off between story, character, combat, world, traversal, it kind of appeases and I guess eases the pain of the delay a little bit because you think like, oh, it looks pretty good now. What will another 6-7 months in the oven do to polishing it off? I'm
clicking through the video as we talk here, and there's some scenes where just traversal, where he's like in that kind of feathery thing, and it looks absolutely stunning. But then there's also like fights where he's got like maybe 10 guys around him, lots of particle effects, and seems to be running very smooth. There's they showcase a boss fight. So all this could be actually very, very early in the game. But
yeah,
you can see that the polish there. So it's one of them, if you were worried by delays, I think this is a smart move to actually alleviate any fears, really.
Yeah, absolutely. Looks great. And it is going to have a full... The gameplay that they've revealed is pulled from a demo that's going to be playable at Gamescom.
Yeah.
So if you're in Cologne, Germany this week, or you're going to PAX West in the US next month, you can play what you're watching right now. Which again, what a way to add more faith to the gamer out there. That's like, yeah, you can get hands on with it.
Yeah, 1 year we need to get a Gamescom, don't we?
Yeah, it needs to be a Gamer Guild mission statement.
Yeah, we'll have a meet and greet in the pub somewhere near Gamescom.
Yeah, we should all collectively agree to go.
Yeah,
to meet you there.
I feel like unless we actually committed to it, we never would. But I can't commit to anything just now. Not until my house has gone, at least. Like, yeah, it's like
let Gamescom this year just settle, and then we'll figure it out.
2028
delayed.
Yeah. Anyway, you know what isn't delayed, Chris? Pokemon ZA, because the Pokemon World Champions 2025 is happened, and there's a playable demo of Pokemon ZA on the floor, and we've got some previews in from it. What's your kind of hype for Pokemon ZA? Interested at all, or because you have a Switch too, I do not.
Is it ZA or is it ZA? Like, what are we doing with this?
I'm calling it ZA because
it's a shit naming convention, right? Like, they've done so well in the past with just giving it a colour. Like, why can't it just be Legends colour? Why are they going to random letters put together?
There was in Kalos where it's set, the mainline games in Kalos were Pokemon X and Y. And there was rumoured, because over Pokemon they always bring out their initial two, then I bring out a third title, which is like a half sequel.
X, Y, Z.
So sometimes it's a kind of reimagining of it, or sometimes it's a half sequel. Then with Black and White, they had Black and White 2 as two separate games. So there was rumours at the time there was going to be a Pokemon Z, and it never happened. So I don't know why this game couldn't just be called Pokemon Legends Z.
Yeah.
As a nod, I don't get the A bit.
Like, Arceus got a bit of stick, didn't it? Because it was like, is it Arceus? Is it Arceus? Is it Arceus?
But that just comes down to not understanding the pronunciation of an established Pokemon.
But yeah, Z. Either way, regardless of this, I have a Switch too, but it isn't tickling my fancy. Again, I was a bit burnt a little bit with Scarlet and Violet.
Yeah. I replayed that this year and actually hold up a lot better now.
Yeah.
I think a lot of the performance issues are dissipated. It's still a bit janky in places, but And I still have a big criticism of the game, the open world being a bit too open, a bit too big. And you can very easily become over-leveled because you can't tie off things like XP share. So that's kind of annoying. But it does have its merit, and I did enjoy replaying it. But
yeah, I'll have to maybe see what the reviews are like to get back in. But you played Arceus. So
yes, I did.
Based on the feedback from this demo, hands-on, that IGN, The Verge, and Polygon and stuff, what are you reading into with this one?
I think they're very different games. Arceus was very much more of a kind of collectathon game, where you basically your collectibles. So you explored the world, you collected Pokemon as you complete challenges in your Pokedex, and there was a narrative running through that. This game seems to be a bit more focused on tactical battling, because instead of just your turn, my turn, there seems to be more of a grid system going on. Reading from The Verge, the demo, which I played ahead of the 2025 Pokemon World Champions in Anaheim, California, was split into two parts lasting around 10 minutes each, both seemingly early in the game, heavily focused on the new battle system. It's a big departure from nearly 30 years of Pokemon games. I'm used to thinking about Pokemon like a chess match, slowly and several steps ahead. In ZA, I had to think about the same type matchups and stats and everything else, but quickly and on my feet. It took me some time to adjust. Not going into whether they liked it or not, but just kind of highlighting it's different. It's a bit faster paced by the sound of it.
Yeah, VGC point out the same thing. They say a bit of a departure from the main series, which Arceus was. He said Zia is an even bigger departure. It'll take much more time with the new battle system to get to grips with, and the new way of taking down trainers, but we're thoroughly sold on the Rogue Mega Evolution battles that happen. So again, it seems like Arceus was quite a change, and I know you allude to that as like a positive of like the open world nature and the live capture rather than the turn-based stuff.
I love the turn-based stuff, but with Arceus being very clearly a spin-off, I liked what they did with it.
Yeah, it's the honestly the one thing that's got me is potentially Totodile being a starter. That's the biggest thing right now.
Totodile's awesome.
Such a simple thing, but it's like, you know what? If you're not going to introduce me to 3 new starters and I don't look at one, well, they're cool as shit. Yeah. Show me some OGs where I'm like, all right, okay. The nostalgia is strong enough to kind of pull me in a little bit.
I do like myself a Totodile. They had Cyndaquil and then Legends ZA, and then Legends Arceus.
Right, interesting.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just need to see more of it to make it feel different. And again, we kind of broke down the Pokemon Direct that they did a couple of weeks ago, and it was like massively disappointing. It just felt like there's so much stuff out there now. The saturation of this brand.
It was all the
someone who's
it was an update and all the other random smaller stuff.
Yeah, and it's just I think every iteration it doesn't look different enough for me. I think as a gamer who's maybe not fully involved in that world, I can't help but look at it and think Donkey Kong Bonanza looks like more fun. And this just looks like Scarlet and Violet. It just looks like Arceus. It just looks like the Let's Go Pikachu. Like, it doesn't really move on that much every single iteration.
Yeah,
but that's just me.
I think I kind of like that. I didn't like Let's Go games. I thought I didn't like the things they were doing with them. I thought Pokemon isn't that overly complex anyway, and they were very much trying to dumb it down. It's like. So I didn't actually end up playing them because I just really didn't like the look of them. I actually, as a long-time Pokemon fan, I don't want them in the mainline games to overly change the format too much. I like Pokemon. I like Pokemon for what it always has been. I want them to keep iterating on it, but not completely lose the DNA.
Yeah.
So this is where I think with Scarlet and Violet going the full open world. Lost a bit for me, because it became too big, too complex. And it's like the map is absolutely huge, and it's like exploration became a bit intimidating, almost. Like, where do I go next? Because it's very open.
Yeah.
With ZA, actually, I think I know why it's called ZA. Every trainer seems to have a rank associated with them. I'm not quite sure how you rank up, but seemingly after trainer battles you can rank up.
Yeah.
And I think you start at rank Z.
Interesting. We'll have to see.
Yeah.
Hopefully we'll see more about it soon.
Indeed. What we might also see, hopefully soon, Chris, because we've both bought it, is Metal Gear Solid Delta. And we've got an update where the multiplayer is confirmed to be delayed. And also, it will not support crossplay.
Yeah, bit of a disappointment on this one. Konami don't have a great track history for multiplayer stuff.
No.
And with all the positive praise that Delta seems to be garnering, I feel like this is a bit of a... What was the Capcom Resident Evil Rebirth? Was it?
Resident Evil Rebirth, yeah. No.
It's going to be this...
oh, God, what was it called?
That sounds right.
Was it Keep going.
Either way, this is going to have a similar issue where it looks fun. Fox Hunt, when they announced it, I think they showed off like a gameplay trailer, and it looked interesting, but not having it at launch, I think you missed your window. Like adding a multiplayer component into a game that never had it in the first place. Like I know people loved like Metal Gear Online stuff back in the day when it was a thing. And this isn't the same thing. It's not Metal Gear Online coming back, which is like amazing back in the PS2 days, but it is what it was, stuck in time. But the fact that it's not coming at launch and it doesn't have crossplay means you're segmenting your audience already.
I think
it just seems like a disappointment that they've missed the window with it.
I'm increasingly a big fan of, if you're going to make a multiplayer game, focus on it being a multiplayer game. If you want to make a single-player game, focus on being a single-player game. Because as games get more complex and the demands from gamers go up, it's hard to balance both within the same title. Unless, like, it's a co-op game. Like, say, Borderlands can do it, fine. But the multiplayer in this feels tagged on in the way that 10, 15 years ago you used to always get a multiplayer thing. That some people might play for hours on end, other people have it play for an hour or two and go, this is kind of fine, then never touch again.
Yeah.
Not having crossplay, I think, is a huge failure nowadays. I think crossplay should be the standard.
I mean, yeah, it wasn't for a while, and then it kind of, with the rise of like Fortnite and stuff, and the pushback from Epic and everyone just saying, and remember even PlayStation tried to charge for it, and then all of a sudden it was like, no, actually, it should just be a thing.
Yeah. And
PlayStation held out for the longest time, and now it just makes sense across PC. It's like, why divide your fan base when you could unify them? And I do wonder, does this go back to, I'm not sure if Konami have like an ID. You know, like you log into Konami.
Probably
like
do. Yeah.
Chris and Richie at Konami.com. I feel like there's one for everyone, but I can't in my head think of a Konami one being a thing. So I wonder if they're missing just some key multiplayer stuff, which is why crossplay is out the door, because they've got no way of linking players together in like their own database.
But if you're going to make a multiplayer game, you need to get your infrastructure sorted.
Absolutely.
That to me,
which is why it might be delayed.
Yeah, but don't you think? What I think the biggest failure in this is, like, outside, well, crossplay is probably the biggest failure. Second biggest failure is, why did they announce this? If they announce this as a standalone title, like after the launch, we're bringing out a standalone. We're bringing out a standalone title based on Metal Gear Solid Delta, called Fox Hunt. That will be free to everyone who bought Metal Gear Solid Delta. Or just make it free to play, and then suddenly they turn what is now a loss into a win.
Yeah,
like, don't tag it on there. Because, to be honest, I'm not interested. I'm not buying Metal Gear Solid Delta at all for the multiplayer mode. So why not make it its own thing? So to get access to the multiplayer mode, you have to buy a single-player game. So if you're interested in the multiplayer mode, you spend a lot of money on a single-player game that you might not be interested in because you're predominantly a multiplayer game. I don't know, it just feels like these should be two separate entities to me.
Yeah. It looks like, thankfully, the actual core game is it'll do enough just on that alone. I think the multiplayer, no one's buying this for that.
Yeah,
but it's a shame because I think it's missed its window, unfortunately. And I think like by the time it comes out, you and me might even just be done with the game, and then it's on the shelf, and
probably
you're not going to put it back in just to go and test out.
You know what?
Fox Hunt, unless it's like takes the world by storm. And it's like, oh shit, you got to get over this.
We'll probably end up doing a live stream, won't we? Because at some point it'll come out, we'll own the game.
If it's popular, Like, yeah, absolutely, but it's such a saturated market. I think, they missed the window, unfortunately. But thankfully, it's not critical to the success of the game.
Yeah, multiplayer not being supported and not having crossplay doesn't change my decision to buy this game at all. I do think they do deserve criticism for not having crossplay, because I think it's one of them where crossplay should be the standard, and any developer who doesn't make it the standard needs to be called out on that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. But Remedy, Chris, you're a big fan of Remedy.
Remedy, I am.
You mentioned earlier FBC FireBreak. So we've got kind of a small update on a few things that they worked on. So where do you want to go first? Control, Max Payne, or FBC?
Probably FBC, because it's been the most recent of the games.
I don't think this is too surprise to anyone, but the sales have been a bit disappointing. To quote reading again from Push Square, 2025 also marked Remedy's first self-published game, the multiplayer spin-off FBC FireBreak. It says it's unsatisfied with the launch phase consumer sales, and most of its commercial performance has been driven by positioning on PS Plus Extra and Xbox Game Pass.
Which makes sense, which means I'm guessing a lot of...
So people aren't buying it, they're just running it on as part of the free subscriptions.
Yeah, they're playing it. But this is where we live in a weird subscription-based world, where it's like, but they'll have got a big chunk of money from PlayStation and Xbox to put them on the service anyway. So you'd imagine a lot of their initial developer costs was paid up front by the two platform holders. They said, I think they had like 1 million plays a week or so after release, which is like, again, great. But how many of them were playing it because it was free to just test it like we did?
Yeah.
Test out and try it, have a laugh, but you haven't put any hard cash down. I don't recall there being many really like packs or points or like in-game skin season pass content to buy. They had a punt at it, but I think ultimately it's a saturated, similar to the Metal Gear thing we just talked about. It's like it's a saturated market. It didn't do anything special. It was passable.
It was absolutely fine. It was fun, but there's nothing special about it. I don't know. I didn't see how, apart from the fact that it's in the Control Alan Wake universe, what sets it apart from anything else in the kind of extraction shooters genre. It felt like it didn't. I don't even think it had the polish that you'd expect from a Remedy game. If you look at how beautiful Control looks and how well that plays compared to FBC, I know you're going to get a bit of a downgrade when you're going from a single player polished experience to an online multiplayer experience, but it feels like a bit too much of a step down.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
To give you an idea, Richie, how many people do you think are currently playing it?
106. And the Steam DB.
6. Yeah, on Steam. Yeah, so discount obviously Game Pass and PlayStation.
So discounting
just PC
the two
numbers.
places that we've just said this.
Well, it's free. It's free. So this is paid users.
Yeah.
So this is probably a true reflection of how many people are actually interested, engaged. 22.
Yeah.
Globally.
On Steam, yeah. That's
22.
That's a dead game.
If you go to your
I feel
local...
that, you know what, I feel it's a more of a PC audience that would gravitate to something like this as well.
Yeah. It's 24-hour peak, 28. Its all-time peak at launch, just short of 2,000.
Its all-time peak was 2,000.
Yep.
Yeah, so when they say most of the players came from PlayStation Plus and Xbox Game Pass, they weren't lying.
Yeah. And to put that into perspective again, brands and everything aside, Star Wars Battlefront 2, that's obviously had a little bit of a resurgence. Originally came out like years and years and years ago, 2020-ish. It might have been earlier than that. Current players, 5,146. Its all-time peak, which was also 2 months ago when FBC FireBreak launched, 34,000 nearly. Again, big brand attached to a legacy game. I know it's not apples to apples, but if you're looking at current shooters on PC available right now, 22 is just it's not good, is it?
No. I'm not sure how you come back from that. I know
I don't think you can.
They say they've got patches and stuff planned, but
this season pass, isn't there? There's like 2 big drops coming by the end of the year, and I could see that last drop getting canned. I think Remedy would go, right, it's not gone as well as we'd hope. Sack off the last one. We'll commit to the newest one to see if we can get a bump before Christmas. The one that's due out next year, knock on the head, double your staff down on getting Control 2 finished, and just call it a day. They've attempted it. They self-published it as well, so they're trying to get self-funding money in the door, which we know for single-player studios, it's hard to keep the bills covered essentially when you've got no like actual like repeat revenue coming in. And I do not blame them in the slightest for trying something like this. It just did end up just being quite generic, unfortunately.
I feel the strongest part of what FBC FireBreak has going for it is potentially the lore from Control and Alan Wake, and I also feel like they don't use it.
No, not really.
It's set in the oldest house, but then there's no like real narrative going on through it. There's no.
Yeah, well, we said when we played it, like, how was there no cutscenes or characters? It just give you a menu and then you went into the level. There was no real any visuals to tie it to the Alan Wake. Like, there was no like employee from the oldest house should have showed up and went, oh, great, you're the new recruit. We've had some trouble down here, like, you know, like just a go-to character that you keep coming back to as like your central fixation point, and it was just the voice in your head, right? It was just that random PR.
There's no kind of central hub to kind of run around and like, you know, like on The Division, when you go back to your home base and you can run around, that's where you upgrade all your weapons, buy new stuff, buy cosmetics, that kind of thing. But you're not doing it all in the game. Then you go out into the world. That's what I feel like this game should have been. But instead, it's you load up a menu, you pick your character, you drop into the mission. If they did a control version of The Division, but with some of the mechanics from FBC FireBreak, I think you suddenly got a massively better game. And also, let me design my own character. It's an online game.
Yeah. Limited in scope, unfortunately, and seemingly limited in players right now. But it's a good thing they've got Control 2 and Max Payne in the pipeline.
Both of which seemingly going well. So Control 2, the PS5 sequel, is on track, and the team is currently focusing on the gameplay, environments, and missions. So making the game. They haven't done the sound yet.
Not yet.
Work continues on developing the game into a strong commercial offering. The remakes of the first Max Payne and its sequel, The Fall of Max Payne, meanwhile, are in full production.
Pretty good.
So they go along strong.
Yeah, I think Control 2 we could maybe see next summer.
Yeah.
It's been a while, maybe the spring after, but yeah.
I think one of these could be at Game Awards.
Yeah, I could see that. That sounds like a good show.
Not both.
At the end of the day,
whichever
Sam Lake needs to be there, right?
And going by this, I'm guessing Max Payne maybe first, because they're in full production where Control 2, they're specifying what bits are getting worked on.
Yeah. And we'll get updates from the next corporate meeting.
Indeed. Moving on to a cute co-op puzzle platformer, Chris. Lego Voyagers, which we saw at Summer Games Fest. We've got a release date for it. Are you looking forward to it? We
certainly do. I am, yeah. It looks really fun. It's just like a simple little brick game, isn't it? Just like puzzle platformers.
Yeah.
Don't mind at all.
It reminds me of something like It Takes Two, but with Lego bricks.
With bricks, it's got that Horizon Adventures aesthetic to it.
Yeah, it does.
Like everything's like highly like tuned up. The contrast and everything's like bright and colourful in like a sun-baked world. And yeah, like you're right. I think the It Takes Two kind of nature of it's fun, and then like the Lego nature of it's fun. But it's got almost like because of their little blocks in like the Spitlings vibe.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Because you're playing like a 1v1 Lego block.
Mm-hmm.
But what I like about it is there's leaning into the Lego stuff for like the puzzle solving is all about like kind of building stuff to solve your way through it, and it does have what we always praise for Hazelight. It is unashamedly a co-op game.
Yeah,
you need two people to play this game, and that's just, I think that is the strength of it.
Yeah, you can play local or co-op online, and the game has a friend pass like It Takes Two or Split Fiction as well. So you buy it once, and your friend gets a free copy, so you can play it together. But yeah, it's quirky. It's like if this was a little indie game and it wasn't attached to Lego and it was like called The Adventures of Blocky.
Yeah.
It would be fun and quirky, and it would probably be up for like Indie Game of the Year, but it's attached to Lego. And you know what? You've got to credit Lego. Considering they're not video games, they do a lot of stuff video game related. Like the brand of Lego.
They've always embraced it.
Yeah, and like from like the Harry Potter games to Horizon Adventures to Lego Races to like Lego 2K. We had that 2-3 years ago now. Like we had a full Lego racing game.
Yeah. And
now we've got like this little puzzle game, and then it lends itself so well. It's essentially like real world Minecraft, isn't it? So no surprise. But this looks great. It looks really fun. If it's the right price point, I could definitely see myself checking it out with my wife.
Yeah, I was going to,
or maybe daughter in the years to come.
Yeah, I was going to bring up maybe wife first, daughter second. I was going to bring up the price point actually. It doesn't currently have one. I've just been looking. I can't find a price point, but I also can't find a physical retailer selling this game. I can only find digital. You can pre-order on the PlayStation Store and Steam, probably on Xbox. I didn't go beyond that. They were just the first two I saw because when I was looking for a price, so it might be a digital only. But it is out on the 15th of September. But I don't.
It's good though.
Yeah, I'll probably just pick this up digitally. I reckon. Again, depending on price point, I can see me and my girlfriend having fun playing this.
Yeah, looks fun.
Yeah. Anyway, let's move on, Chris. Big game for you. Helldivers coming to Xbox.
Yes.
We've covered this before. We've got a new trailer out for the Xbox, and there was a bit of a tease at the end. Do you want to speculate?
No, it's not a tease. It's absolutely happening. We said this when it launched, though. If you remember when I was raving about Helldivers back at launch, I said like it's the aesthetic of it lends itself so well to other IP. Just because you are, at the end of the day, just like a generic soldier. And I'd said if you take Helldivers and give it to Star Wars and change them all into clone troopers or stormtroopers, the game's just as fun. Just change the aesthetic of it and it works just as fun. And then we said about like other IP like Killzone, and then we got Killzone skins, but not quite kill. Like I want the Hellgast. I want to land on the planet Helgan as a Helldiver and kill shit tons of space Nazis. That would be super fun. But then, yeah, it's coming to Xbox in 2 weeks' time, just under 2 weeks' time. And they put out this teaser trailer, which just showed more fun Helldivers action. A little bit too, I want to say, leaning towards Fortnite for me, where it was a bit more zany with the music and stuff. And I was like, oh, okay, like how far are we away from getting like bright neon
They've
pink
moved
stuff
away from the usual marketing style.
Yeah, the music and everything just seems a little bit not Helldivers for me, but maybe they're going for a different vibe for like a wider launch perhaps. But what I did appreciate, and which we suggested, is the Helldiver guys look a lot like Spartans.
They do.
And coming over to Xbox seemed a perfect fit, and there's actually a terrific, absolutely terrific, I don't know what you'd have to search for, but if you search for Helldivers 2 Halo, there's an amazing fan-made video where it literally is all shit's popping off, they're getting killed out there, they're about to die, the music goes really sad, and then you hear the Halo music kick in, and Master Chief comes down from a Halo, because that's how Master Chief gets onto planets. He goes in his like dive pod, and he shows up and it plays Halo. This is just a fan-made thing that came out like over a year ago. But then we get this real trailer, and it gets to the end, and you see the light come down from the sky, which isn't how the Helldivers pods arrive. There's no light going up to the sky, but it is how the soldiers in the Halo ODST arrive, and the music is from that game.
Yeah.
So everyone's now like, holy shit, are we getting ODST-themed maps? Are the soldiers going to show up? So, if I'm not mistaken, the ODST soldiers, they're just like the generic army people in the Halo universe. They're not Spartans, they're not superpowered, they're just the general grunts of the army. And that's why ODST is almost like so revered in the Halo universe, because you're just another guy. You're not special. You are just a character in this army, and you're seeing Spartans do all these super amazing things, but you are part of that heroic campaign to defeat aliens. So Helldivers is kind of like a perfect fit. Just give me generic Halo grunts, drop me in a hell pod, and I will help spread democracy.
So the ODST, the Orbital Drop Shock Troopers, are special operations capable of the UNSC Marine Corps that specialise in orbital dropped shock infantry and special warfare tactics. That's according to Halo.fandom.com.
That's just Helldivers, right? Everything you described there, come on, is a Helldiver. It's like, yeah, that's literally your sole purposes. Drop down, kill some shit, save the galaxy.
Yeah.
And they're going to do it in... if there's one way you're going to get Halo, Xbox fans involved, it's pull from a franchise that's suffering a little bit at the moment. Let's be honest. Halo Infinite, not really spoke about. We've said time and time again, it isn't the flagship brand it once was. Gears, arguably, but then this goes back to a bigger Xbox problem all around. So it's mad that in a way a PlayStation Studios game launching Xbox is actually going to bring the Halo love more than Halo arguably has. And the weirdest thing about this whole trailer that dropped, Richie, when you watch it, is it starts with the Xbox boot up, the whoom with the big Xbox logo, and then it immediately does the PlayStation Studios little glisten noise. Seeing them back to back in a trailer is gotta be like a Matrix breaking weird, the code's not right. It's
edited incredibly well, actually, to do it.
It's so smooth, isn't it? Just the 10 of the logo, and it's boom, we're in the PlayStation. The light comes through, and we're living it. PlayStation. Again, outside of, remember, MLB The Show is the only other PlayStation game that has been brought over to Xbox. Sorry, but that was published by the MLB people.
Yeah,
probably for legal reasons and stuff. This is PlayStation actively publishing a game on a rival platform.
Yeah, I mean,
crazy stuff. What a world we live in, right?
They publish Helldivers too, but they don't own the IP. So there might have been a clause in the deal that after the first year...
No, PlayStation own Helldivers.
Do they actually own it?
Yeah. That's why...
I thought it was Arrowhead owned it.
No, that's why the guy Pilstead or something, the CEO, was saying a couple of months ago that their next project won't be Helldivers because they need to get away from that to, I guess, make more independent money. But the article that I'm thinking of was at the beginning of the month. There was a story saying actually the developer, the current CEO of Arrowhead Studios, Shams Jordan, said in Discord that actually it was all down to PlayStation while this happened. And I quote from his Discord, "It was all PlayStation. Send them your thanks. We're all in support, of course." So according to the CEO, it was PlayStation who made the decision to port it to Xbox.
All right, it's probably
what a world we live in.
It's probably as we speculated before with the if sales kind of plateau and use the plateaus, we're not going to get any more money by holding it back. Let's push it further.
Well, it's a new world for gaming, isn't it? If there's more players out there, more platforms, get it out there. Get Helldivers on Nintendo. What would you do for Nintendo, Richie? Ooh. What IP would you pull from Nintendo's back catalogue that would represent a Helldiver?
Oh, that'd probably be Samus Aran from Metroid.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Right? Just drop it in a little ball.
Yeah.
Roll around and then pop out as...
Yeah, I think... I mean, that off the top of my head, that would be my first choice. You could go Star Fox.
Yeah.
I feel like Samus would maybe lend herself better to the aesthetic of that game. You could draw Samus in the art style of Helldivers and it work. Not sure you could do that with Star Fox.
No.
Look a bit weird, but talk about bit weird, Chris. One of the worst games of all time is making a comeback, and you've played it, at least the original.
Bubsy 3D is my touch point for this series.
Yes, it's Bubsy 3D is rated as one of the worst games of all time, and it's getting a remake, and it's out on the 9th of September.
Yeah. I remember it so fondly because I don't know what to do. There's a story is why I'm so fond of it, because it was the last game my grandma bought me before she passed away.
Oh.
And it was one of those when did it come out?
I wasn't expecting such a touch.
No, not a deep twist to it. It was one where I guarantee you she didn't even know what she was buying. It was just like, Chris has a PlayStation. You don't really have a clue what one of them is. She went and clearly just picked out a game from the shelf without reading reviews, like any grandma or grandparent would. And yeah, bought me. But yeah, I remember that was the reason I kept it as a kid and never threw it out, even though it is a pile of shit. It plays so bad and it's awkward and clunky. But yeah, after many attempts at it, I still have it in my collection, and it's getting a remake. I will not be buying it, but yeah, it's definitely got something attached to it for me. But they're just terrible games. I don't know how they're getting remade, but everything gets remade nowadays, right?
Yeah. So I'm reading this. Is Bubsy a celebrated icon from the mascot wars of the early 90s or a platforming punchline? Very much the latter. But I only know of this game because it's so poorly rated. It doesn't actually have a Metacritic rating.
It's so bad it doesn't get one.
Yeah, it's got user scores, and they actually got some positive, but if you look at the positives, they're usually 10s out of 10s and kind of meme scores. But there's no critic reviews. I'm really not sure.
It's how the blurb for the actual collection says. It's the celebrated icon from the Mascot Wars. It's like, is it? And it's called the Perfect Collection.
Yeah,
like it's far from perfect. But yeah, I'm sure that the 2D platform ones from the Genesis age aren't as bad because they're just like generic 2D platformers. You jump on some heads of some creatures, you collect some things, and you get to the end of the level, left to right. That's pretty much it. The fact that this is getting like a limited run game, it's like physical editions and stuff as well. It's like, wow. I guess nostalgia's real for anything from the 90s.
But you know what? Because it's infamous, it'll probably sell okay.
It's one of those, like, yeah, you're morbidly curious to check it out, so people will buy it. But you know what? I guess it's a collection, so all the rubbish has been pulled together with custom work art and the cartoon that aired around the same time to try and tie it in. But yeah, there's a very good reason we didn't have a Bubsy game from the PlayStation era right through till... What was the last game? We got a game like last year, right?
Ooh. I can't remember.
I'm sure we had one came out. It was like 2019 pause. Oh no, 2017 Woolies Strike Back. That's the one I'm thinking of. So yeah, we had 3D in 1996, then nothing until 2017, which is where we got the Woolies Strike Back, which was a 2D, 3D, think like Donkey Kong Country style, I guess. Which doesn't look too bad. It got a 6 out of 10 on Steam. 45% on Metacritic, but it's still better than its predecessor.
I feel by now, though, you know what your expectations for the game are set. So a 6 out of 10 is probably based on the fact that it is, Bubsy.
I'll tell you what, though, Bubsy Paws on Fire came out in 2019. Steam, 6 out of 10. Metacritic, 63. So it's on the rise. The Bubsy cachet is on the rise, so maybe this collection will actually drive people to buy. You can get it for $4.99 on Steam right now. Paws of Fire.
Yeah.
So yeah, clearly doesn't take much to put one out, but clearly there's some lives left in the old cat yet.
Indeed, but that is all we have time for you this week, and we like to end the show every week with This Week in Video Game History. So Chris, starting on August the 16th, what's jumping out at you?
Bubsy 3. No, could you imagine if it was actually timed to perfection like that? Hello Kitty Roller Coaster is a game I've never heard of, but looking at this day in video game history, I can't really see any jump out ones. I'll skip forward a day or two.
2 was fairly okay on the PC back in the day.
Yep.
17.
Humankind 4 years ago for Mac, PC, and Google Stadia.
First talking Google Stadia on the channel.
It launched on Stadia before any consoles, if you recall, because of just like how much they said it took to render in the scope of the game. But I think they had a special deal behind the scenes.
Going back to August the 15th, actually, Sonic Mania, 8 years ago.
Whoa, that's a throwback.
Yeah, I was just looking for something decent to talk about.
Yeah, bit quiet. There's nothing. Looks like a quiet week in games. I guess it's that quiet before the storm, really, because I think come September through to Christmas, as we've alluded to, that's when everything starts coming out. Yeah. So, yeah, interesting.
Yeah, it's
not a great week.
Nothing else jumping out. I mean, like over this weekend. So with that, thank you very much for watching. Make sure you like the video, subscribe to the channel, and hit that bell so you kept in the loop of all of our content here. We will return to our live streams when it's not insanely hot and we're not insanely busy. Hopefully it will be this week, but we will let you know. Which is why you need to follow us on our socials. Links are in the description below. And with that, my name's been Richie.
I've been Chris.
GG everyone. Goodbye.
Bye.